MegaPodTastic.
Good morning, MegaPodlings. It's Krazy Joe, and it is New Year's Eve. It is the last day of 2021 as I reach out to you, and as a result, we are going to go over my top 10 most anticipated films of 2022. These are the movies opening in 2022 that I personally am most excited for. We're going to start from the bottom and work our way to number one. And we're going to open up with an honorable mention. We're going to start with number 11 out of 10. This is a movie that I am excited for. It is in my most anticipated films of 2022. But it just kind of fell out of the top 10 because there were 10 I was more excited for. But we're giving it an honorable mention. Honorable mention at number 11, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Yes, the sequel to Doctor Strange, directed by Sam Raimi, which is going to pick up plot threads from Spider-Man No Way Home involving the multiverse. Also pick up plot threads from WandaVision. We got the return of Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda, the Scarlet Witch. I am quite excited for this film. Like I said, it would be in my top 10 were it not for the fact that there's just 10 that I'm more excited for. What is it about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness that dropped it out of my top 10? Well, number one, Doctor Strange has never been one of my favorite MCU characters. I don't really care for the first Doctor Strange movie. It's okay. It's not a bad movie. Like, it's not like I hate that movie. It's just that of all the MCU movies, that one kind of leaves me a little cold. I actually like Doctor Strange better in the ensemble films he's been in than in his own movie. Whereas I'm not crazy about the Doctor Strange movie, I did really like him in Avengers Infinity War and Spider-Man No Way Home. So I do think he's better when he's bouncing off other characters. So that might make Multiverse of Madness a better film because he's got Wanda as a sidekick. And that to me could actually really improve the film because I think when he has a character he has good rapport with, he's actually a great character. But yeah, the original Doctor Strange, not one of my favorite MCU films. So this is number 11. But I'm still excited for it. Can't wait for it to get here. Number 10, Mission Impossible 7. Mission Impossible 7 is my number 10 movie. I love the Mission Impossible movies with two exceptions. I hated the original film from 1996. If you ask me, it's a piece of garbage. They took the hero of the television series, Jim Phelps, and made him a villain for no reason other than shock value. There was nothing in the story that would indicate why the hero of the TV show would suddenly go bad. It was done for shock value. That's all it was. Also, it wasn't a teamwork film. You know, Mission Impossible at its best is a team who all have their specialties coming together. You know, the first movie was a vanity project for Tom Cruise where he did everything by himself. And then every now and then we cut to Ving Rhames talking to him over a headset going, "Oh, I typed this on the computer, Ethan." But really, there's no teamwork in that film. So I hate that first film. The second film, even worse. The John Woo movie, Mission Impossible 2, even worse than the first one. So that franchise I was ready to write off as garbage until J.J. Abrams came along and gave us Mission Impossible 3. A lot of people love to give J.J. Abrams crap. A lot of people hate J.J. Abrams. He rescued this franchise. J.J. Abrams' Mission Impossible 3 was the first good film in the Mission Impossible franchise, and it kind of set the stage for everything that followed. J.J. came back to produce the fourth one, Ghost Protocol, and that one was even better than Part 3. And every Mission Impossible movie has been better than the last. Rogue Nation, Fallout, they just keep improving. It's kind of, you don't see that often in a major franchise where it gets better as it goes along. But Mission Impossible is definitely a franchise that has gotten continuously better as it's gone along. And Rogue Nation and Fallout were tremendous films. Can't wait for Part 7. I'm very excited. Bring on Mission Impossible 7. All right, number 9. Pixar. Pixar doesn't often let us down. Pixar has been one of the most reliable studios there is. And at number 9, I've got Lightyear. Lightyear, the story of Buzz Lightyear, but not Buzz Lightyear, the toy that we've seen in the Toy Story films. No, this is Buzz Lightyear, the actual space ranger that the toy is based on. We've already seen something like this in the early 2000s. There was an animated series called Buzz Lightyear of Star Command that took the same approach. It wasn't about Toy Buzz. It was about the actual Buzz Lightyear of Star Command that the toy is based on. And that was a good show, Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. Sadly, not on Disney+. I'm hoping that Disney Plus is actually holding Buzz Lightyear of Star Command back to release as a tie-in with the theatrical release of Lightyear, because that would be really smart marketing, right? Lightyear's in theaters, and oh, hey, if you like Lightyear, well, look what we got here. One thing that actually has disappointed me about Lightyear is they did not bring back Tim Allen as the voice of Buzz Lightyear, because they were like, no. Tim Allen's the voice of the toy Buzz Lightyear. This is the real Buzz Lightyear. Chris Evans is going to be the voice, which is fine. But I would have been happier if it was, and his name just went right out of my head. The Tick. The Tick. I can't. Patrick Warburton. I don't know why. Patrick, every time we talk about Patrick Warburton on the podcast, the audio podcast, his name goes out of my head too. There's something about the name Patrick Warburton that I cannot lock in my brain. I don't know why. But Patrick Warburton did the voice on Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. So I do think it would have been nice if they brought him back as the voice of Lightyear. Now I know some people are going to be like, but they need that box office marquee name. Do they really? Is anyone not going to go see Lightyear because they don't have like an A-list star doing the voice? Is that ever going to happen? People want to see it because it's Buzz Lightyear. They're going to be interested because it's Pixar, because it's Buzz Lightyear. They're not going to be like, well, I wasn't going to see Lightyear, but Chris Evans is doing the voice, so now I'm in. No. They're going to go see it no matter who does the voice. You could get your next door neighbor who no one's ever heard of to do the voice of Buzz Lightyear. This movie's still going to make $1 billion because it's Buzz Lightyear. I don't know. I would have liked it if Patrick Warburton came back reprising his role as the real Buzz from the TV series. That would have made me happy. But I'm going to go see this movie any way you slice it. Number 9 on my list, Lightyear. Number 8, another animated film, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, the sequel to Spider-Man, was it Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse, or now I'm forgetting the name of the first one, Spider-Man, what was it, Enter the Spider-Verse, or, I don't know. The first movie was great. I'm telling you, man, I got an old man's brain, I can't remember anything, getting up there, man. YouTube is not an old man's game. It's a young man's game. I got no memory anymore. But yeah, I'm really excited for Across the Spider-Verse. I really liked the first one. I know some people say it's the best Spider-Man movie ever made. I don't think I could go there, only because the main character is Miles Morales and not Peter Parker. And in my mind, Miles Morales isn't the real Spider-Man. Peter Parker's the real Spider-Man. Miles Morales is a Spider-Man. But I don't know. Maybe it's a generational thing. But in my mind, Steve Rogers is Captain America. Bruce Wayne is Batman. Clark Kent is Superman. And you could bring in other guys like the son of Clark Kent, or Dick Grayson could take over as Batman for a while. But it always ends up going back to the number one guy. The other guys are fill-ins. They come in. They're never the main guy. So I don't know. Maybe that's old man thinking. I don't know. But to me, Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and this isn't a movie about Peter Parker. So is it really a Spider-Man movie? It's Spider-Man adjacent. I'll give you that, and it's fantastic. I really like it, but I have trouble thinking of Miles as the Spider-Man, because to me, he's a Spider-Man, not the Spider-Man. Peter Parker's the one Stan Lee and Steve Ditko created. So, I don't know. That's my hang-up, not necessarily yours. And we're going to get into another hang-up of mine when we get to number 6. But Number 8, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to take the kids to see it. My kids love the first one. You know, during the pandemic, I don't know if a lot of you know this. Some of you may know this, some of you may not. But during the early days of the pandemic, Jake Johnson, who did the voice of Peter B. Parker in the first Spider-Verse film, was sending messages to children. If you send an email to Jake Johnson and made a request, he would record a greeting for your children as Peter B. Parker from Into the Spider-Verse, and basically tell them to, you know, stay calm, the pandemic, everyone's going through it, just, you know, stay at home. This is a time in our lives that'll pass. You know, basically uplifting messages for the kids as Spider-Man because of their love of the film. That was a really awesome thing. So hats off to Jake Johnson. Number 7, Jurassic World Dominion. The 6th film in the Jurassic Park franchise. And I don't, you know, the last film in the Jurassic Park franchise was Fallen Kingdom. And Fallen Kingdom is my absolute favorite Jurassic Park sequel. The original Jurassic Park is still the best Jurassic Park movie. No doubt about it. The 93 Steven Spielberg original, that is the best Jurassic Park movie. But the best Jurassic Park sequel, Fallen Kingdom. And I say that because it is the only film in the Jurassic Park franchise that really had the balls to do something completely different. Completely different. Every Jurassic Park sequel up till then basically had guys come to the island and get chased by dinosaurs. Lost World, they go to the island, get chased by dinosaurs. Jurassic Park 3, they go to the island, they get chased by dinosaurs. Jurassic World, the park is now open, people come to the island, and something goes wrong and people get chased by dinosaurs. The second film, Lost World Jurassic Park, which I do believe is the weakest film in the Jurassic Park franchise, teased the idea of dinosaurs getting out of the park and into the mainland. But it was only about 15 minutes of screen time of a T-Rex running through San Diego. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was the first film in the franchise to actually take dinosaurs off the island, put them on the mainland, and make that a main thrust of the story. And by putting the dinosaurs inside a house, because Fallen Kingdom involved some rich people auctioning off dinosaurs, and there was a house with dinosaurs in the... It basically was a haunted house movie with dinosaurs instead of ghosts. That's pretty much what they gave us. And it was something wildly different than we had had in any of the Jurassic Park movies previous. And I remember watching that movie with the biggest grin on my face saying, yes, they're finally giving us something so wildly different and so entertaining. I love Fallen Kingdom so much, and I can't wait to see the next film in the franchise. I will also tell you this. A lot of the stars of the original Jurassic Park, including Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum, are back in Jurassic World Dominion. I personally tweeted at Colin Trevorrow, who was the director of Jurassic World Dominion several years ago, and I said I would like to see Samuel L. Jackson return in this film with a robotic arm, because we never saw him die in the first film. We only saw his severed arm. And I said, bring back Sam Jackson with a robo arm, because we don't know that he's dead. We only saw his arm. She said, oh, Mr. Arnold, it's severed arm. Bring him back. He's got a robo arm. He's looking for revenge on the velociraptor who took his arm. And I tweeted that at Colin Trevorrow. Look at that. Look at that tweet right there. Colin Trevorrow acknowledged it. He acknowledged it. So you know what? If you're watching Jurassic World Dominion this summer and Sam Jackson comes in with a robo arm, you're welcome. I did that. We'll see. We'll see. I'm hopeful. Number 6. Like I said when we talked about number 8, this is another one that's going to come with some caveats, some personal conflicts that I have. Number 6 for me is Thor, Love and Thunder. Thor, Love and Thunder. Taika Waititi returning to direct the next Thor movie. I'm very excited. I love the Thor movies. Thor 2, The Dark World is obviously one of the least popular MCU films, and I agree. It's not one of the better ones. But the first and third Thor movie, fantastic. Fantastic. For years, I said Thor, the original 2011 Thor, was the best Marvel solo film. Meaning not a team up, not an Avengers, not a Guardians of the Galaxy, just a one-off hero film. I thought the 2011 Thor was the best. I now lean towards Captain America, the Winter Soldier. I think Captain America, the Winter Soldier is probably the best. But Thor, the 2011, still fantastic. And Thor Ragnarok, not quite as good as the 2011 film, but really good. And there's a misnomer. A lot of people think that Thor Ragnarok was the film that made Thor funny. Like, oh, they discovered in Thor Ragnarok that Chris Hemsworth could be funny. That's dead wrong. I don't know where that idea came from, because Chris Hemsworth's Thor is hilarious in the 2011 film and in the Avengers. I mean, he had one of the best lines of an Avengers. Remember, like, be careful what you say of Loki. I mean, he is of Asgard, and he is my brother. They're like, oh, well, he tried to kill all these people. Well, he's adopted. You know, he's always had that wry sense of humor about him. The first film, yeah, when he goes in the pet store, I require a horse. You know, he's always been funny. So this notion that Ragnarok was the film that made him funny is wildly inaccurate. But Ragnarok was a great movie. The original 2011 film was a great movie. We got Taika Waititi coming back for Love and Thunder. The Guardians of the Galaxy are in the film. So I am hyped. Where is my problem? My problem is there was a storyline in the comics several years ago where Jane, Natalie Portman's character Jane, became worthy of the hammer and took on the mantle of Thor. And apparently that's going to happen in this film. Now, why do I have a problem with that? I have no problem at all. No problem at all with the character of Jane being worthy and getting the hammer and the power. My problem is with the character taking the name Thor, because Thor is not a mantle. It's actually Thor's name. Thor is actually Thor. That he was born Thor. Thor became worthy of the power, but it's not Batman. It's not like I'm Bruce Wayne and I'm Batman and Dick, you take the cowl, you're going to be Batman now. Thank you. I'm Batman now, Bruce. Oh, wait, Terry McGinnis? You're Batman now. Oh, I'm Terry McGinnis and I'm Batman. It's not like that. This is the equivalent of Bruce Wayne saying, well, I'm getting too old. I can't do this anymore. Dick, you're Bruce Wayne now. Because Bruce Wayne is his given name, not Batman. Batman is the mantle that he passes. Bruce Wayne is the guy. Well, Thor is the guy. So if you have Jane come in and go, I'm Thor now. It's like, no, you're not. You're not Thor now. Bob Iger didn't say to Bob Chapek, congratulations, you're Bob Iger now. You don't pass on your name, your given name. You pass on the title. So that's something that bothered me when they did it in the comics. And it kind of bugs me that they're doing it here too, because Thor is not a mantle. Thor is his literal name that he was born with. And that's kind of dumb. But I'm still amped for the movie because it's Taika Waititi. And these movies have been so good up till now. The Guardians are back. Bring it on. I'm ready for Thor, Love and Thunder. Number 5. Now, I'll be honest, I almost forgot about number 5 because it's not a theatrical release. And that bugs me because I want to see it on the big screen. I don't want to watch this on television. I want to see it in its glory on the big screen. But sadly, the world we live in now, they keep making several movies a year direct to streaming. And, you know, I always say, if a movie goes direct to streaming, is it even a movie? It's just television, right? At that point, it's just television. But this movie's going direct to streaming, despite the fact that it should be playing in theaters. Number 5 for me is Batgirl, the Batgirl film that is coming to direct to HBO Max. It is starring Leslie Grace, who is, I always want to say she's in West Side Story. No, she's not in West Side Story. She's in The Heights. It's another musical. I'm getting my 2021 musicals mixed up. There were so many musicals this year. And yeah, no, she's from In the Heights movie I have not seen. But I love the character of Batgirl. I love Barbara Gordon. I've loved Barbara Gordon since I was a kid watching the 66 Batman TV series with Adam West. And my kids love Barbara Gordon because they watch the DC superhero girls. They like superhero girls. So Batgirl is a popular character in my home. But what pushes this movie over the edge for me is two things. There's two things that really make Batgirl a standout. Number one, the script is by Christina Hodson. Christina Hodson is one of the best screenwriters working today. She wrote Bumblebee, a movie, the first good movie in the Transformers film franchise. A movie that has so much heart. This movie is just a heartfelt story of a girl and her Transformer, and God, as bad as the Michael Bay Transformers movies were, this film redeemed the franchise. It absolutely redeemed the franchise. It's so good. Look, the best Transformers movie yet. Absolutely. This is the best Transformers movie ever made. Better even than the 1985 animated film that holds a special place in a lot of people's heart, because the animated film is good, but it does kind of depend on your knowledge of the TV series, whereas you can come into this movie blind. My kids who did not know Transformers went to see this and loved this movie because, dear God, this movie is good. This movie is so good, and a part of that goes to Travis Knight, who directed this film, but a good part of it goes to Christina Hodson, who wrote the script and put so much heart in it. And then she went on to write Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, which was on my best of 2020 list. So this was on my best of list for last year. And Christina Hodson wrote both of these, and now she's writing the script for Batgirl. So we got a Batgirl movie that has a script by a top talent screenwriter. And one more thing, that's only one of the things that has me amped for the film. There's my love of the character of Batgirl. There's Christina Hodson writing the script. And finally, there's the fact that none other than Michael Keaton is reprising his 1989 role as Batman in the movie. Add those three things together, and you have a film that, dear God, put it in front of my eyeballs right now. I want to watch Batgirl now. So, yeah. Batgirl, very excited. Disappointed that we have to watch this on TV. I'd rather see it on the big screen. But there you go. Number 5, Batgirl. Number 4, one of the movies I'm totally amped for in 2022, but annoyed by the title. God, I hate the title of this movie, but I can't wait to see the movie. And I'm going to call the movie by its real title, not the movie that the stupid film execs stuck on it. Scream 5. Scream 5, the 5th film in the Scream franchise. I can't wait. Stupidly, the producers have called the movie Scream, same title as the original, with no qualifier at all. Dumb decision. I don't know why. We keep coming up with horrible sequel titling conventions. We keep doing that. Like, one of them is, oh, well, we'll just add the word the. Suicide Squad, the sequel's The Suicide Squad. Oh, we made Final Destination. Oh, now we're going to make The Final Destination. Oh, we made Wolverine. Now we're going to make The Wolverine. Adding the word the as your sequel title is stupid. But even stupider still, because at least that gives some kind of a qualifier. Even stupider still is this new trend of we're going to just use the exact same title all over again. It's so dumb. And we just saw it with Halloween 2018. They've done it with so many. Flatliners did it a couple years ago. You make like an in-continuity sequel, but you give it the same title. The prequel to The Thing, John Carpenter's prequel to The Thing, was still called The Thing. We have two, not one, but two sequels to Shaft that are both just called Shaft. This is dumb. This is Scream 5. I love Scream 1. I love Scream 2. I love Scream 4. Scream 3. That's the weakest link. But this is exciting that we're getting a Scream 5. It is the first Scream movie that is not directed by Wes Craven, who sadly passed away, but it is done by the directors of Ready or Not, which is a great movie. I'm ready for Scream 5. Bring it on. Number 3, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, the sequel to Aquaman. Aquaman was one of the best films of 2018. Great movie. Director James Wan, who just this past year gave us the really super crazy entertaining Malignant. James Wan's back with this sequel, and I can't wait. The first one was so good. Bring it on. James Wan, has he ever given us a bad movie? I can't think of a single bad James Wan movie. I've enjoyed everything the guy's done. So I'm there for this. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Let's go. Let's do this. Number 2. My number one film of 2019? I'm trying to remember what year. No, I guess it was 2018. God, has it been that long? My number one movie of 2018. My favorite movie of 20, or was it 20? I can't remember what year the damn movie came out. It was 2019. It was 2019. God, my brain, this pandemic has turned my brain into Play-Doh. My number one movie of 2019 was Shazam. Shazam, my favorite DCEU movie. Probably my favorite superhero movie of all time. I love Shazam. And number 2, we are getting a spin-off of Shazam, Black Adam. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has been promising us his turn as Black Adam for a long, long time. Over 10 years. And we're finally going to get it. It is a spin-off of the Shazam movie. It's going to lead to a confrontation between Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam and Zachary Levi's Shazam in a future film, probably Shazam 3. But I am hyped. Not only is this a spinoff to one of my favorite films of 2019, it's also going to be the movie debut of a couple classic DC characters that I love. Doctor Fate, Dr. Fate, played by former James Bond Pierce Brosnan, and Hawkman. Hawkman is making his big screen debut in this film. So, yeah, there you go. Hawkman, Dr. Fate, and Black Adam. Bring it on. I can't wait. And finally, my number one film of the year, the movie I am most amped for in 2022, and also one of the farthest away because it's not opening till like the end of the year, like in November, so. But my most anticipated film of 2022, another film written by the great Christina Hodson and directed by Andy Muschietti, The Flash, Ezra Miller's The Flash spin-off movie. This movie is very, very exciting to me because The Flash is one of my favorite DC characters. I love The Flash. The Flash, Ezra Miller's The Flash was one of the standout characters in the 2017 Justice League movie. I love Justice League, and Ezra Miller is awesome in this. He gets like some of the best lines of dialogue, and he's just delightful. He's a standout in the movie, and I've been waiting for him to get a spin-off movie ever since. And the talent behind this movie, Andy Muschietti, who made the phenomenal It movie, and Christina Hodson, who has previously given us top quality DC content with Birds of Prey and not DC, but Bumblebee. You couldn't ask for better talent on this film. It's also going to be the swan song of Ben Affleck's Batman from Batman v Superman and Justice League. We get to see Ben Affleck take his final bow as the character of Batman. And we get the return of Michael Keaton, who will then be reprising the role in Batgirl, which was my number 5 pick. So with the return of Michael Keaton, the return of Ben Affleck, the return of the breakout character I felt from Justice League, Ezra Miller's The Flash, top talent screenwriter, top talent director. I couldn't be more amped for The Flash. It's also going to give us Supergirl, and although he hasn't been officially announced, I am almost certain we're going to see Hank Cavill return as Superman in this movie. I believe it's going to happen. I mean, they're bringing General Zod and Faora back. Henry Cavill's going to be in this. I don't know. I'd put money on it. Not a lot of money. Not a lot of money. I wouldn't put $100 down, but I'd put something down because I believe it's going to happen. I'll be shocked if it doesn't. But that's my number 1, The Flash. So there we go. Number 11 was Doctor Strange in a honorable mention. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Number 10 was Mission Impossible 7. Number 9 was Lightyear. Number 8 was Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. Number 7 was Jurassic World Dominion. Number 6 was Thor: Love and Thunder. Number 5, Batgirl. Number 4, Scream 5. Number 3, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Number 2, Black Adam. And my number 1 most anticipated film of 2022, The Flash. What is your most anticipated film of 2022? Comment down below, let me know. And everybody keep wearing those pajamas and have a happy new year.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander Adamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. I know we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.